Mirrors have often been a medium for the paranormal, and many people have seen frightening things in them. Whether you see something, or somebody looking back at you, or notice that something just doesn't fit in, mirrors have a way to literally scare the makeup off your face.
Hey, you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some scary video clips that can't be explained. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content just like this.
It isn't unusual for small children to be fascinated by mirrors. Babies and toddlers often find it endlessly amusing that the child being reflected back at them copies their movements exactly. It isn't until they're older that they realise the child in the mirror is them. In one of the internet's more disturbing paranormal videos, however, the child in question may have been correct in assuming that the image being reflected back was another being entirely. The eerie video was uploaded to Twitter by Nasrallah Napi. As the child's mother films him playing with the mirror, the little boy turns towards her to give her an adorable smile. In a shocking twist, the reflection in the mirror doesn't copy the action. Instead, the reflection continues looking forward. Even more shockingly, the child's eyes take on a sinister appearance in the mirror, turning a terrifying shade of black. After a few seconds, the reflection suddenly looks like it's being fast-forwarded, as the child in the mirror rushes to catch up to the movements of the real-life little boy. We hear fear in the mother's voice as she calls for the child's father to take him from the room. Clearly, she wants to keep her child as far away from the mirror as possible. What do you think's going on in this video? We often see photos of this sort of phenomenon floating around the internet, someone looking at the camera while their reflection is caught in a different pose. These sorts of images are often disregarded as Photoshop hoaxes and could be quite easily created with basic knowledge of photo manipulation. However, a video of a reflection moving on its own is a different story entirely. Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below.
I'm watching this dude through the mirror and his face is moving. But look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror is staying the same. Yo, the Matrix is broken.
Superstition and myths tied to them for as long as they've been around. The ancient Romans believed they reflected a person's soul and could bring great strife if they were misused. They can suck out one's soul, be portents of death, or offer glimpses into some other dimension. In many cultures, mirrors are used for communication with spirits, and it is believed they serve as portals or doorways to the spirit world, that they are some barrier between the world of the living and that of the dead, through that veil that separates us. Haunted mirrors are common around the world, and there are various cults of covering mirrors at certain times, in particular after death, in order to prevent whatever it is on the other side from coming through, or even to stop a soul from becoming trapped within the mirror. The following is a true story about a mirror in an old wardrobe that haunted 2 generations. Shortly after the death of Tim Corvina's grandmother, he found that he had inherited her old wardrobe. The origin of the large wardrobe was unknown, but it was thought to be early 19th century and to have been a wedding present to the grandmother many decades ago. It was placed in the second bedroom of Tim and wife Judy's house, which for a time doubled as the nursery for the couple's newborn son. They had not long moved into their new house and had hardly any furniture, so the wardrobe was a welcome addition. Once or twice while attending to her son, Judy noticed an odd shimmering light coming from the wardrobe's mirrored door. Unable to find its source, she thought nothing more about it. The weeks passed without any further incident. One morning, Judy entered the room and had completely forgotten about her initial experience with this shimmering light. She had just finished vacuuming when she glanced at the mirror and noticed that it was again shimmering. The curtains were closed, so there could have been no reflection coming from the window. On this occasion, the glow from the wardrobe seemed brighter and gave the appearance of light coming from deep inside the mirror, rather than light being cast upon it. In a trance-like state, she approached the mirror and watched in amazement as the shimmering became brighter, and she slowly watched her own image becoming faint as swirling colours slowly engulfed her reflection. As she was now entranced by the mirror, she could see another image emerging through a maze of multicoloured light. An image then started to form of an old woman wearing a white hat with pale yellow hair, wearing a high-necked dress. The woman had a kind face with tired-looking eyes set in a distant gaze. To Judy, she looked like a hologram portrait trapped inside a mirror. As she continued to look at the woman in the mirror, the eyes had suddenly turned towards her, which unnerved Judy so much that she ran out of the room terrified. She not only ran out of the room, but left the house trying to rid herself of the memory of the frightening experience. She walked aimlessly around shops until closing time, until she felt it was safe to go home, where her husband Tim would have arrived home. After explaining to her husband her terrifying ordeal, he ran upstairs to check the mirror for himself, and was initially reticent upon entering the bedroom, but found all was normal. They decided to discuss Judy's experience with Tim's mother, who recalled her initial experience she'd had when she was 10 years old, and brought memories flooding back. The wardrobe had been in her brother Wayne's bedroom, and one day, as they were going out, he asked her to run upstairs and grab his jacket from the wardrobe. As she was grabbing the jacket, she noticed a shimmering light coming from the mirror. This description matched Judy's story exactly. His mother then claimed to have seen a young girl in the mirror walking down the street, who then stopped to talk to an elderly couple who were mowing their lawn. She realised that the young girl was herself, and the elderly couple were her neighbours. She suddenly recalled the street scene she was viewing in the mirror had occurred some 5 years previously. It was like a vivid coloured TV image of her life in the mirror. After the incident, whilst walking down the street with her brother Wayne, she told him what had happened, where he then described his own weird experience with the wardrobe when he too had seen visions and witnessed ghostly visitations at night who would regularly spend time preening themselves in front of the mirror. She said that when Wayne joined the army, she would sit for hours in front of the mirror waiting for the next vision and feeling depressed about the war. One day she was cleaning her brother's bedroom in preparation for his return and noticed the shimmering coming from the mirror. She approached the mirror anxious to see what would be revealed. What appeared to her was a battle scene with people running around in uniform amongst smoke and gunfire. They were American troops, and suddenly the image of a soldier appeared, which she suddenly realised was Wayne. It was a full-on battle scene with tanks and gunfire. Wayne was running with the other soldiers when his image became lost in the smoke. As the smoke cleared, she could see that he'd been wounded and was staggering and fell forward. She then realised that he'd passed away. All the visions up to that moment had been pleasant, but had now become a nightmare. She was hoping that what she had seen was a lie, but past experience had told her that it only showed the truth. 2 months later, her parents received notice of her brother's passing. From that moment on, she said she resented the mirror and never again went near it. It was not until many decades after that event that the story Judy had told proved the mirror was still active. However, when Judy asked her about the old woman, Tim's mother could not identify her.
Give a little class to the show since you're here. Do you know the female pigeon is unable to lay eggs if she's all alone?
If she's all alone, she can't lay eggs?
In order for her ovaries to function, she must be able to see another pigeon. If no other pigeon is available, her own reflection in a mirror will do the trick.
Is that applicable to human beings, I wonder?
I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up. Obviously, I was wrong in bringing it up, but I found this fascinating.
Well, how would they know what a female pigeon does? If she's all alone, no one would be there to know. I mean, it's the old, if a tree falls to the forest,
Is there any sound? If there's no other pigeon, or is there an egg? There's something to be...
Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Chade Arena. What's one of the oldest horror movie tropes? We got girl who can't stop tripping as she runs through the woods. The two sexy ones who go off to have sex and then get murdered. But there's also... the creepy face in the mirror. And unlike the other two, this one actually happens in real life. So today I've put together a list of top 10 scary reflections caught in mirrors. Got some that are very creepy. And without taking any longer, let's get into it. Number 10, Ghost Baby. You're a super sweet little bundle of joy. You're probably looking into the mirror for the first time in your life. What a wonderful, cute experience that your parents would want to get on tape. But I'm sure they didn't expect this horrific twist. When this video was first released out to the public, people were freaking out in the mirror, waiting to take the baby's soul. YouTube comments and Reddit threads are usually filled with the most rational people. And this happens. As the girl turns, her reflection keeps looking at her. It also seems like this creepy kid is locked away in some sort of fan phantom zone and has giant black eyes. Let's take a look at this.
I know you're saying you're filming the guy that stole it. No, look, just keep watching. It's crazy. Wait, I know. What? I know. Like, how is that? I don't know.
You can see in the mirror that the girl sitting down has a reflection, so you know the mirror isn't broken or displaying some sort of error message. Then we see a guy walk through and he has no reflection. Nothing. Again, this could be a clever camera trick. I'm a host here at Most Amazing Top 10, not an editor. Let's take a look at this. The girl in the mirror should really work on her skincare. Her skin's cracked all over. She should see a dermatologist or something. Number 2, peekaboo. You're hanging out with your siblings, then someone decides to snap a photo. Little did you know, it would be the most unsettling image you've seen all day. This one has a date and time stamped on it. We can see that the photo was taken on September 24th, 1988 at 3 p.m. Now this could have just been added to the photo to make it seem like it's more realistic, but it does seem like the aesthetic matches the time period, staring right into the camera. The creepy emotionless look feels like it's looking right into your soul. It's almost like she's trying to warn them about what's in that back hatch that they just opened up. I would love some more backstory on this picture. Number 1, unexpected guest. You know, my parents always talk about how hard it is to get everyone together for a nice family dinner. They should really talk to this family in the picture. They seem to be so good at it that they got their dead grandma to join them at the table. This one kinda looks convincing. It really has me feeling like their long lost grandma came to eat with them for one last time, so she could tell them how much she loved them and also chastise them for eating takeout for dinner. You think someone comes back from the dead to visit you, you put a little bit more effort into the dinner. Well everyone, that's our list. I hope everyone enjoyed everything you saw today.
Don't say a word. Leave now while you still can. And if leave now before Master finds you. Mama's gonna buy you. Who is that knocking at my door? Who is that knocking at my door? Who is that knocking at my door? Be gone with you. Don't say a word. Leave now while you still can. And if leave now before Master finds you. Mama's gonna buy you. Who is that knocking at my door? Who is that knocking at my door? Who is that knocking at my door? Be gone with you. Don't say a word. Leave now while you still can. And if leave now before Master finds you.
A mom has captured unsettling footage that appears to show her son's reflection moving away before he does. The creepy video, posted by Twitter user Joyln from the San Antonio in Texas, shows the boy playing in front of the mirror. Shot over just 5 seconds, the boy is seen looking into the mirror and playing about with his mouth. But suddenly his reflection starts moving away from the mirror and disappears as he appears to still be looking forward. His mom posted the clip on Snapchat originally, but it has since been shared more than 112,000 times. His mom posted the clip.
Mirrors have often been a medium for the paranormal, and many people have seen frightening things in them. Whether you see something, or somebody looking back at you, or notice that something just doesn't fit in, mirrors have a way to literally scare the makeup off your face. Here are 5 terrifying moments seen in mirror reflections. Number 5. Twins in the mirror. Babies find everything interesting, and almost anything can make them laugh or cry. The first video here shows a baby looking into a mirror and laughing at his reflection. He seems to be enjoying himself, and moves his hands and head to see what the person on the other side would do. When he realizes someone is behind him recording, he turns his head around to look directly into the camera. But what makes this video so scary is that the reflection in the mirror doesn't move. While the baby's head is turned towards the person recording, the reflection eerily continues to look forward with a smile on his face. Number 4. Studio reflection. The next video is definitely something worth taking a closer look at. It takes place in what appears to be a dance studio with mirrors on all the walls. In the video, we see a woman walking up to an area and sitting down on the ground. As usual, the mirrors catch her reflection and we see the reflection sit as well. After a few seconds, we see that the reflection in the mirror behind the woman moves and turns her head to look at the woman sitting in the studio. She turns and begins to stand up before the actual woman does. Weirdly, the reflection behind her seems to be the only one that moves, with the others staying in their seated position. The woman soon stands up and we see the other reflections get up with her. Even as she walks away, the reflection behind her stands still and continues looking at her. Number 3. A cold stare. In this video, we see a small Japanese girl looking at herself in an antique dressing table that has 3 angled mirrors. While she touches a few of the items on the table, the person recording the video grabs her attention and she turns to look at the camera. She again turns to her side and stretches her arm out. When she looks down, 2 of the reflections do exactly as she does. The third reflection, however, stays in the previous position and continues to look at the girl in a very eerie way. What makes this video even scarier is that the girl in the reflection appears to have black eyes. Number 2. Selfie time. Cameras are a great way to capture memories. They are also a great way to catch something paranormal on film. Although this next case is not a video, it doesn't make it less scary and unexplainable. In the photo, we see a couple taking a selfie in front of a door or window that has reflective glass. While the couple looks happy and busy trying to capture a great picture, we don't notice what's going on in the background. Look at the reflection of this couple and what do you see different? Found it? The man's reflection shows the back of his head and his extended arm as he tries to click the selfie, but the woman's face is in the reflection, which makes no sense at all. Was this a spirit or just a glitch in the photo? Whatever it is terrifying to watch. Number 1. Vampire Among Us. Here's a video that will not only leave you frightened, but also wondering if vampires are real or not. The video shows the inside of a flip-flop store. We see a girl on her phone and a boy sitting next to her. There are 2 full-size mirrors to the girl's left, and we can even see her reflection in it. A man passes the mirrors and we see his reflection as well. We can see a man standing at what appears to be the store's counter too. As the video continues, a man dressed in a black shirt walks around the seated boy and towards the girl. However, as he walks past her, we don't see a reflection in the mirrors. Was this a real-life vampire caught on camera?